Welcome to Unhinged and On Call. I'm Dr. Chelsea, your resident veterinarian.
And I'm Trish, a registered vet tech who's seen it all. Each week, we're pulling back the curtain on the wild world of veterinary medicine, from late-night emergencies to barnyard drama.
No filters, no fluff, just real stories, real laughs, and maybe a little emotional damage. Thanks for letting us share the madness with you. Well, welcome everybody. Today we've got a special guest out of Ohio from Lebanon, Equine. This is Dr. Holly McMinn. So we're so glad to have you on the show today.
Yay!
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit. I did, I guess, kind of snoop, but I was looking around and you went to the Ohio State. I guess tell us how you got into veterinary medicine. And I think you're from California.
So I am.
So
mine's like a non-traditional story. I am the first one in my family to go to college, become a doctor, anything. I graduated high school and I was like, I just want to ride horses like every kid, right? Like, I was like, I just want to ride horses. I don't want to go to school. I don't want to be a vet. Like, I barely got through English and history in high school, but I was like A's in like history or in chemistry and math, like so easy for me, should have known. And so then I was actually at a training barn in Malibu. I literally had like ocean view that I was assistant trainer at. And it was great, except it was just, that's a very hard world to stay in. Lots of drama, lots of who you know. I got really screwed over at a job there at like 19. And then basically like cut out of a bunch of money and like wasn't bad mouthed or anything, but I was just like, okay, well, I can't work for this establishment anymore. And so I kind of was like, I don't think I want to like go down this path. Like it's all who you know and all that. So I was like, I don't think I want to do that. So I ended up calling the vet that we used there, Dr. Digert out in California. And I was like, hey, I just left that barn. Like, I don't know what to do with myself now. Can I come ride with you like once a week and see like if I have any interest in this? And he's like, yeah, come with me. It'll be fine. So I rode with him for like a year. He bought me Del Taco every time I rode with him as my payment, like just rode for free. And I remember like to this day, like I just saw him at AEP again. And to this day, I told him, I was like, he told me, he was like, we got to get you back in school one day. And I was like hell, I am never going back to school. Like I hate school. Like I'm not a studious person. Like no way. And then I did 8 years. So he was really good friends with Dr. Kent Sullivan and Deborah Kemper, who own West Coast Equine out in Southern California and Somas. And he was like, oh, let's see if we can get you a job there when they have an opening. So it took like a year. They had an opening, started there. Then I was an assistant and learned a lot there, kind of trial by fire most times, but learned a lot there. That's where I got all my clinical skills. They really like were focused on their assistants and their techs, like knowing all the hands-on in case they weren't available, because they did ambulatory and they were a surgical facility. So we learned to like pass tubes, place catheters, run fluids, do all of that. And so I decided to stay local and go to school instead of going to like a pre-vet program. So I went to Cal Lutheran University for my undergrad. And they did like UC pricing or whatever. So I got in kind of cheaper there. So I stayed local, worked there for 5 years, learned a ton, saw a ton of cases, everything. I was mostly like the overnight person. So I saw all the emergencies and traumas and colics and all of that. And then while I was there, like in the first year, I was like, yeah, I'll become a tech. I think I'll do that. And then shortly after, I was like, all these interns are like my age or just a little bit older. I bet I can do this. And so I told my mom one day, I was like, I think I'm going to go to vet school. She was like, what? No one's even gone to college. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't even know how to talk to you about this. And so I ended up going full commitment, go wherever you get in. I applied to UC Davis, but they only like 4 pros, so didn't get in there. And I was like, I guess I'm moving to Ohio. Like, I don't know what's out there, but I ended up loving Ohio State. It was a very easy transition from Southern California. Like we had everything. We had a Target, we had Chipotle, we had like downtown life, we had all of that. So I had like toured Washington State and it was like middle of nowhere. And I was like, I don't know.
Pullman is out there.
Middle of nowhere. I was like, I don't know if I do this. I got waitlisted there and then got into Ohio State. So just went where I got in. And then while I was there, met my now husband just at a bar downtown one night, like during second year. I just was like, that that guy's cute, I'll go talk to him. And
Yeah.
long story short, he worked in Cincinnati, so Googled equine vet down here, did an externship with Lebanon Equine. They asked me what I was doing when I graduated. Started with them, didn't do an internship, just went straight with them. It was kind of like internship into mentorship program. Had to learn all the like kind of routine stuff. Like I was ready for colics and all of that, but had to learn all the routine stuff. So, but they were great. And then I've been with them for 6.5 years. We've changed, after a couple years, it was privately owned and they actually sold to corporate about 3.5 years ago. So we're corporately owned now by Community Veterinary Partners, which is great. It's gotten all of the bad things got better. So it's been great. Don't have really any ill thing to say about there. We just gotta do our jobs. We're just owned. There's some frustrations with corporate, but
yes,
the thing that prevents me from being a vet and being the vet I want to be. So I'm gonna.
That's cool.
Be for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. So, do they have other equine practices, or do they buy mostly? They bought you out because you have a small animal. Okay.
Yep. Well, we don't have a small animal actually. We used to be part of a small animal.
Okay.
It's right next door. We share like a walkway. But it used to be owned by like a bunch of men, equine and small animal, and then it kind of dissolved over the years into two. That's privately owned now. Our equine's been like just equine for probably the last, like as long as I've been there, we've not been part of the small animal clinics for 6 years or so. And then it was owned by two owners, pushed out to one owner then that I was working for, and then sold to corporate. But it was at a really good time, and honestly, that's the reason I'm still there. So,
cool.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
And how many doctors do you have there now? Total?
So we currently have. No, my box does not do. We currently have 4 doctors. We have Dr. Brian McNabb and Dr. Mike Farwick. They're kind of the original owners that still are there practicing. And then me, and then Dr. Emma Mullins, who was a 2024 grad. Nope, 2023 grad. So she'll be coming on her second year. Oh, no, 2024 grad. She'll be coming on her second year here. So
second year.
She's been great. She's from the area, so she knows a lot around here and everything too. So we are currently looking to hire another vet. We have one we're interviewing, a new grad, but yeah, we are looking to hire somebody else because we definitely could be a 5-doctor practice. So
impressive.
Yeah. And we're strictly
anyone
equine.
Listening, if you're in the area looking for a new position,
we're a fun time. Yes,
that's cool. Well, and do you ride horses then still, or like since you?
Yeah, so I grew up riding hunter jumpers and doing all that. I have 4 horses in my backyard. We have a 45-acre farm here, which is way too much. But we have steers and a hayfield and like all of that. But like, yeah, my husband and I are constantly like, barely keeping it all together. A common threat is let's just sell the farm all the time because it's so much stress. But we have 4 horses. 1 pasture puff and then a miniature mule, and then I bought my daughter a 4-year-old for when she starts to ride because he's like a good investment. But she's 4, so she just likes to kind of lead line here and there. I need to start teaching her how to ride, but I don't think it should be me. So I already have to teach her how to be a child and an adult. So I don't think I should teach her how to ride a horse. So and then
they don't listen to us.
No, so she's not going to listen to me on the back of a horse. So, and then I have like a husband horse, I call it, where he's just a single thing that my husband can get on, and he doesn't ride, so he just gets around and pretends he's a cowboy. So I currently don't have a riding horse, and I don't get to ride, but I don't really have time anyways. But I feel like we're on the verge of like, our kids are 1 and 4, so I feel like more like a 4 to 10.
This is just a hard time.
Yes, we're in the trenches, so we're setting up for knowing we will be able to do this and stuff like that. So hopefully we can start riding again.
Yeah, I think we both have 3 kids. I felt like getting them to the 4-year-old year, which means another 2.5, 3 years. But I do feel like once they can get themselves into a car seat and out and like
a little more self-independence,
like no diapers and whatever.
Yes, once they're potty trained.
Like then you get to ride. And have fun. And
my 4-year-old's really fun. She's in that age where like she can hang and she can do all that. She's also 4, but we are in a very trying time too. A teenager for
You'll
sure.
Get there.
Yes. We call her Beth Dutton because she's loves really hard, but she also
I
fights
love it.
really hard. So.
I love
And
it.
then my
I love
boy, he's 1, and he's just like simple and just like
easygoing.
Oh,
watches
Yeah.
her. Yeah. So
Yeah.
how funny.
yeah,
No, it's
Aw.
that
I
it's
think
that
we'll get
meme
there.
of like they're either gonna
Yeah.
be like the gang prison leader or
Yeah.
CEO. So who
Yeah.
knows
That's
which
her.
one?
She'll
Yeah.
probably be both.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yes.
Perfect. My kind of
Yep.
gal.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
That's
I don't know where
awesome.
she gets it from, but yeah, she
Yeah.
definitely has inspired to her.
No
Yeah.
My
idea.
husband's like, "This is your fault."
That's
I'm like,
great.
"Really?"
Oh my
That's
Yeah.
too
gosh.
funny.
Well, I
Uh,
know we were chatting a bit, but you said that you did have funny stories for us, so I'm cannot wait to
Yes.
hear a little bit about a love triangle,
A love
possibly.
triangle
Yeah.
was my favorite. So
Oh my
I
gosh.
also am like famous for me and Dr. Emma do this, but I do it with my best friend too. I call them Snap Sagas, and I just like get on Snapchat as I'm driving, and I just like my friend calls them vlogs, and I just like talk, and I just like spew everything that I just left and stuff like that. And so Dr. Emma and I like review cases together that way. Like, hey, this person's gonna call you
that's
tomorrow.
nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
But I
cool.
got on after this. I got back in the truck after this call, and I was like, you guys, and I sent this to like non-horse people. I sent this to Emma, like our text, like everyone. I sent this to everybody. I was like, I don't know what just happened to me. So edit this as you will. It's a long story. There's lots
Okay.
of
Yeah.
factors. Take all the good stuff out of it. I am changing names,
Yep.
which is kind of unfortunate because the names also helped made the chaos of it.
Oh,
But
that's okay.
so anyway, so I was leaving. I was at one emergency for some swollen eye or something, just normal Saturday on call. And this lady calls, and she had called us before. And she was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like she called me for her horse at this other barn that I knew about. But she called and she's like, "Hey, we have a down horse. He's bleeding out of his nose. Like, oh my gosh, get here right away. Like, I need you right now." And I was like, "Okay, well, I'm at an emergency. Like, I can't promise you this horse is, if it's truly bleeding out of its nose, like
Yeah.
I don't know that it's gonna still be alive when I get there, but I will get there as fast as I can. Just like keep your distance, don't get hurt." So I'll tell people like it's not worth anything.
Yeah.
And so we'll say her name was Deb. So Deb calls me and she's, freaking out, and she's like, "Just get there." And I was like, "Okay, is it at X barn that you're normally at?" And she's like, "No, it's at this other barn. It's at Sal's." And I was like, "Who's Sal?" And she's like, "He's an inventor." And I was like, "I don't oh, okay, well, I don't know what he invented, but I don't know his barn. Can you please text me his address?" And she's like, "Okay." So she sends me his address, and she's trying to describe which driveway. And I was like, I forgot what you said. So I'll just figure out how to get there. So I was like, let him know I'm on the way, like be there in like 45 minutes or whatever. So I head down that way, and I pull in, and there's like nobody there. There's like one barn with one person. And I was like, this seems anti-dramatic. So I pull in, and there's like a guy just like casually washing buckets. We'll call him Bill. And I was like, "Hey, is this where the down bleeding horse is?" He's like, "Oh yeah, for a walk." And I was like, "Oh, okay. That seems resolved." And I was like, "Okay, sounds good. I'll just wait for him up here." And so I'm sitting there, and I finally see this guy coming up the road. And so I asked Bill, I was like, "So what, was he down?" And he's like, "Well, once I got the other horse off of him, he got up." And I was like, "Wait, what are you talking about?" And he was like,
Oh.
"Oh yeah, this chestnut horse had him pinned down. I own the barn, and I heard the donkeys going off." And he's like, "And this chestnut had him like grabbed by his neck, like holding him down, and the donkeys were losing it." He's like, "So I fought him off, and I got him out. And he got up." And I was like, "Okay." And his name is Trevor, the horse. And I was like, "Okay." And I was like, "So I was like, where's Trevor now?" And he's like, "He got up all right, and he's on a walk." I was like, "Okay." And he's like, "Yeah." He was like, "Oh, Lars is taking him on a walk right now." And I was like, "Okay, well, that's good that he's able to walk." He's like, "Yeah, I think he'll be okay." So he comes back up, and he's like this very emaciated old chestnut thing walking up. And I was like, "Oh, that's not good." So he comes up, and he gets there, and I was like, "Hi, Lars, I'm Dr. Holly. What's going on?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah, I don't know what's going on with him." And he didn't have much history at all, except for like we rescued him like 6 months ago. And we thought we were going to euthanize him then, but he's okay. And I was like, "Okay, what happened today?" And
Yeah.
he didn't
Right.
seem to know. And so Bill's trying to explain that he was down and pinned. And I was like, "Okay." So I'm still like confused. I don't know what actually happened to this horse. Like, who said he was bleeding out of the nose? I was like,
Yeah.
"Where's Deb?" And they're like, "Oh, she'll be here in a bit." And I was like, "Okay." I don't know how any of these are related. So then I'm like looking at this poor horse Trevor, who's like heart rate's like 120. I'm like, oh my God, like he is colicking or something. He's just flared nostrils, like breathing really hard. I was like, well, he doesn't look so great. And they're like, yeah, he kind of always looks like this though. And I was like, okay, so why did you call me? Like, what am I looking at then? Like besides the high heart rate. And so his neck's like all wet from where he was like stud grabbed, and I touch him and he's like quivering. And so I was like, okay, so his neck hurts really bad. And they're like, did he break his neck? And I was like, no, that's like the nuchal ligament. Like, it's okay. Like, what else is going on with him? And like, no one can give me a solid history. And then Deb arrives. Deb gets out and she's in like hot pink cowgirl boots to her knees, like high heeled ones. She just came from brunch. She apologizes for being late. She
That's
has
what
like
I wear
a
to
pink
brunch.
cowgirl hat on as well. Yes, pink cowgirl hat as well. And I was like, hi, Deb, like, how are you? And she introduced herself, even though I've met her before. And she was like, oh my God, my poor baby, is Trevor okay? And I was like, yeah, like, what did you think was going on? Because you called me and like, I still can't get like a sound history. I don't know what's happening. And Bill's like back washing buckets, but like kind of washing still. And so she was like, well, is he colicking? And I was like, I don't think so. Like, I think his neck is definitely sore. I think he hurts probably from his attack. And she was like, what attack? And I was like, well, that's what Bill said happened. Like, Bill said that horse had him down. And she was like, who's Bill? And Bill was in there. He's like, I'm Bill. And I was like, Bill's right here. Bill owns the barn. And she's like, no, he's not. He came with you. And I was like,
what?
I was so confused. I was like, where am I? And so I was like, okay, nope, Bill didn't come with me. He's like, I own the barn. Like, nice to meet you. And they shake hands. And I was like, I don't know what's happening. I want to go home. I don't want to be here. I also don't know what's wrong.
Oh my God.
So I like turn away, and they're all kind of arguing and talking about like, how did the test that horse get in? He's supposed to be gated, like all this drama. And I was like, I'm gonna go just prescribe some steroids and antibiotics, and like I don't know what to do this horse. I'm just gonna give him everything because I don't actually know what's wrong with him. So I'm like writing everything down, and I like turn around, and Deb and Lars are making out right in front of Travis as he is like, they're like
dying,
so sensually making out, like heavy. And I was like, okay. And I was like, excuse me, can we go over the discharges? Like, can we go over this? And like, oh yeah, sorry. Like, and they're still like googly all together. And I was like, okay. And so I like start going over stuff, and then another car arrives, and it's the guy that owns the barn, but I thought that was Bill. And they're like, oh, Sal. And I was like, what? And then she runs up and she's like hugging Sal and apologizing to Sal and being like, I don't hate you, right? Are you still mad at me? And then Sal's like, what's wrong with the horse? And I'm just like, I don't want to be here. I want to go home.
Yeah, how does it get weirder?
It's so weird, and I'm so uncomfortable. And like this horse, I don't know what's wrong with him, but I feel like he's just gonna crash. And like I'm running lactate, like SAA, like all these things, and like can't find a problem. And no one actually knows what happened to this horse. But they're also arguing about why he got attacked, or if he actually got attacked.
If he did,
or like, what? Yeah. I saw it. Like I saw it. I broke it up, but like no one believes Bill. So confused. And then I call the vet that normally sees this horse, and I was like, bro, what is happening? Who owns? And he was like, I was like, Sal's an inventor? He's like, no, he's an eventer. And I was like,
eventer. Not inventor.
Okay. One piece makes sense. And he's like, he kind of owns the other house over there. And I don't know. I don't really know who owns anything, but yeah, it's weird. And I was like, okay, anyway, so this person a rabies vaccine? Like, cause he did get attacked, and like he's like, yeah, I think I've done the barn. I was like, okay, great. So I like leave it at that. I leave. Love triangle comes into effect where next week they try to schedule euthanasia for Trevor, and they want it on a Saturday. So it's going to be the other vet that's on call. So our other vet calls, and he was like, hey, why am I euthanizing this horse tomorrow? Like, they're thing. And I was like, let me tell you about this. And so I'm like rambling on, telling him this whole story. And he's like, wait, Deb's husband doesn't have horses. And I was like, well, Deb's husband was definitely like walking this horse. And he was like, her husband's like a really tall guy, like dark hair. And I was like, nope. Short, gray, mustache, beard. He's like, that's not Deb's husband. I've met Deb's recently. Like, I know the family. And I was like, shut up. And he's like,
them.
So Deb's at some other barn. Otherwise, her usual barn with Lars.
Her side hustle barn.
Yes.
Like, Oh my. Did anybody
And
out
I was
her?
like,
Probably not.
I don't know. I don't know. And then they canceled her euthanasia after all that. And I don't know if
Oh.
Trevor's still alive.
Poor
Hopefully he's
Trevor.
okay.
I feel bad for Trevor.
Apparently, I was like, asking
He's
the next day, they're
always
like, he's
breathing
okay.
like that.
Yeah, I was like, okay. But like, it was the weirdest day where I was like levitating out of my body watching this happen. And then when I talked to our other doctor and he was like, that's not her husband, I was like, why did it have to get weirder?
The making
why?
out in front of you is so
Yes.
weird, first of all. And
It was
we've
like,
kind
I
of had like
literally,
a,
and these
a
people are
talk
in their
about
like
holding it
50s,
together.
60s. Yes.
Yeah,
Oh.
like,
These are not young,
Yeah, don't do
attractive
that
people.
in front of people.
Ah.
Right.
Yeah, I was like,
Whoa.
what? So yeah, no idea if this horse. And then just to top it all off, they didn't pay their bill. So
no.
Oh, classic.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
I was like,
You get
that's
put in
okay.
a
Now I
weird
don't have to.
situation.
Now I don't have to go
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my
So
gosh.
gosh.
just weird.
Making out.
Commonly the
Oh.
like weird people that. So actually, I did my when like the Coldplay thing was going on, I made a reel, and it was, I think I called it like the weird, when that's not her husband,
Oh my
and it was
God.
that of like Dr. and Em and I pulling up the bar and being like, that's not Deb's husband.
Oh my God.
So now we talk about it all the time. We're like the love triangle barn, and we drive by. We're like,
It's
there's a
the
love
love
triangle barn. Haven't been back.
barn.
It'll forever
So
be
weird.
that.
It
Yes.
will.
So that's
Oh
why I had
my
to change
God.
names, because otherwise
Yeah.
I actually
Yeah.
might out somebody.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
True. Well, I feel like this with, and I don't know about just the future in your practice and all that, but we finally stopped taking non-client emergencies because shit gets so weird.
Yeah.
And they
complicated
are,
with people.
they're like, you don't know what you're showing up to. It is sometimes very weird and scary. And then, yes, you almost never get paid. So it's just like, it's unreal. But now I have less stories like this.
Yeah.
Right.
That's where a lot of
we
those
have
come from.
we go to non-clients. We don't like have to anymore. Like before it was privately owned, it was like you gotta go to everybody, and not
now
great.
you can choose.
So now we can kind of pick and choose, and I can
Okay.
kind of tell who's gonna be okay. And
Yeah.
I did go to one like I think it was last summer, and I had been there for like routine care before, and they're like, we got a down horse in the back pasture, and I was like, okay. And so I like pull up, and like we're by ourselves below after hours, right? And so we pull up, and I was like, I pull up, and it's like super dark, and I was like, I don't see anybody here, and like my son will meet you up. We're in the back, and I was like, okay. So then the like high schooler's like, hey, like I'll walk you back, and I was like, oh, you don't have like a gator or anything with lights? He's like, no. And so I was like, okay. And so I like put my headlamp on, and I just like click it on, and like at least I have some light. And we're like walking, and I have all of my stuff because they were like, we just want to let him go. So I have all my euthanasia stuff, Fatal Plus and everything, and like a couple backup different things. And so I was like, okay. So I'm walking, and we're like getting very far away, and it's so dark. Like I can't see anything. Like, and I like all of a sudden was like, you have a horse, right? Like,
yes. Like, are they taking you out into the middle of a field?
Is this like a
to-
murder
and like
story?
how our brains work is I was like, what if they are ransacking my truck right now? They're gonna take me back here. They're gonna kill me, throw me in that pond, and then take all the drugs off. And he was like, yeah, my dad's back here. And I was like, and I like didn't see a tractor or lights or anything, and I was like, this is one I should carry. Like, oh my God.
I know.
Yeah, that's where my brain would go for sure.
Yeah, I was like texting my husband. I was like, something's weird. Like, I'm okay, but like, make sure I call you in 5 minutes or something.
Yes.
I was like,
you're like, did you know that
like,
I'm the
this
jiu-jitsu world champion?
Yes,
just
bring it up.
about my
After that, I literally told my best friend, I was like, let's go do like jujitsu or Krav Maga. Like, I need something like.
Yes.
And because we were like going, and I was like, usually there's like they drive or there's tractor, and then finally there's like 3 people with phone flashlights, and I can like see the hump of a horse, and I was like, oh, there is a horse. Okay,
this is real.
And he's like, yeah, like I told you. I was like, this could be a crime podcast. Like that's how that young veterinarian died. Like just trying to save lives.
Save the horse. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. That's the worst feeling ever when you just truly don't know.
You're so right. I don't like, I think more than 100 feet from my truck, and I get really jittery because I'm just like, I don't have a way out quickly. And all my shit's on my truck that I would like self-defense, you know.
You poke them with some Fatal
Plus.
I did tell them. I told him, I said, I have like in this bag, I have stuff to kill like a few horses. Like it would not take much. Like just this poke, like xylazine. Like I was like, this would drop you dead. I was like, because I was like, okay, you're not gonna kill me, right? Like trying to like lighten mood. He's like, no, we have a horse. I was like,
dude. That
Who
is
walked in my Xylazine?
You're
One
shaking.
They tell us a
from
needle
my
prick will kill
syringe
us. So
over for
yeah.
you.
Oh
Oh
yeah, but it was
my
fine.
God.
Euthanized the horse.
Um,
They drove me back, and it was all fine. But
Oh
they paid
my
their bill. Yeah.
gosh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
But yeah, you
good.
never
Yeah.
know. I
Yeah.
had one.
Yep.
I'll make this brief because there are some really weird parts to it. But this reminds me about self-defense because I went to a nail in the foot. Gosh, this is probably 2 summers ago. Or no, 2 Januaries ago. Sorry, because it was my oldest birthday.
Oh.
And this is before, and probably the reason we stopped taking non-client emergencies is they had just moved into town and didn't have a vet yet. And they're right across the street from me. So I wasn't even the vet on call, but I told my colleague, I was like, I'll go because it's right here. And
That's
luckily
dumb.
she
Yeah.
was like a new grad. This would have been a disaster for her. And so this horse is down with a 105 temp. Turns out the street nail was like 4 days ago and they pulled it because
Oh, good.
classic, right? Like
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
not paying attention.
I found the
Um,
problem. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just take care of it and didn't
Yeah.
call anybody. So this horse is down. We can barely get him up. I have to block him just to get him up, but they approve referral to our local hospital. The attorney owner is on the phone and he's a pretty nice guy. Gives me a credit card for all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
His girlfriend, he sounds fairly like mature. His girlfriend's like 20 years old and she's walking around with a taser. And she there's snowbanks everywhere. She loses her taser. But I mean, I don't even know why. So they think that this nail came from construction that was happening because they don't own it. And so there's owners and they're leasing.
Okay.
So they're
Right.
fucking mad. And of course the attorney's like mad that they are, this happened like because you never get a nail in the foot any other way.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So they're supposedly have started putting legal implications towards the owners of the property. So this girl's like 20, cannot get. I actually think I fucking stole a trailer for her. I still to this day don't know. And she's like, well, I don't know how I'll get him there. And there's this 2-horse bumper pull right there. And she's got a truck. And I was like, isn't this your trailer? She goes, yeah, but I don't have the keys and it's locked. And I was like,
Oh.
so I go around to the back and it opens. And I was like, just fucking just hook it up. The
Yeah.
horse can go
Yeah.
in here.
Yeah.
Turns out I fully think now that was not her trailer.
Oh
and she
my
probably stole
God.
it. And I probably helped.
Oh my
she-
gosh, you were an accomplice.
She loses her freaking mind because she can't find her taser. So she starts digging through all these snowbanks. And I finally have to ask her, I'm like, can you hang on? I was like, are you okay? Like, do you need me to call someone for you? Like, nobody's around. I think we're safe. I'll stay with you until you leave the property.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what you're doing. She was like hand digging, going nutty for her taser.
Are you on drugs, ma'am?
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
For sure.
Are you
In
safe to
addition,
drive? Yes.
in addition to not having a single bit of hay left, and they had 7 horses. So like just all the wrong things. Like
Everything.
people
Yeah.
just shouldn't own horses
Like,
like
why
this.
are we fixated on this taser?
Why are we here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God. So then of course I pass it off to a referral center. I do think they got paid. Of course the credit card didn't run.
course.
So of course my like 700 bill with x-rays and all that stuff did not get paid. An accessory to
God.
stealing a trailer.
Yes.
Oh my God.
You'll get this is amazing. We send out monthly statements for 90 days and we go to collections, if I remember, around
Yeah.
120. So we sent this guy to collections because I had enough information on him. He fucking files a complaint about badgering against me
What?
and my practice.
What?
And I'm like,
I never even knew this. Oh
Yes.
my gosh.
yes. So and then my
That's
brother, who's an
insane.
attorney in Colorado, looks this guy up.
Yeah.
And he has 3. So he's this was 2 years ago. He was out on either bail or something like that for felony assault charges.
Oh.
So like I have all these things, right? Like in front of me. My brother, the attorney, is looking and he has like 7 things on the docket.
Oh.
Personally, this attorney to himself. And so once I see the felony charges for assault, I was like, I'm out.
Right.
Like,
Done.
Done.
It's cool.
Like
Yeah.
I stopped sending him statements or
my
invoices or
God.
anything like that. And then it
Like,
went
that's
away.
fine.
But I was like, oh shit. Never did I think I would go help somebody
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
take care of this like mentally. I don't know what was going on with her.
Her taser was self-defense
for
for him.
something. Well, no, I think for the owners, but who knows?
But yeah.
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 And then the horse
Oh,
went to the
man.
hospital. It actually recovered just fine because I got that follow up. But
Oh
the
my
people are
God.
crazy. And then I stopped taking non-client ERs. So that's my roundabout story.
Once
Yeah.
there was a felon that called in,
Yeah,
I was like,
Yes.
it wasn't until then.
I was like, I
Oh
don't
my
want this guy
God.
to know where I live because luckily our
sure.
practice
Yeah.
is separate
Right.
from our house. But
Yeah.
oh wow,
Oh
like
my
you meet
God.
some crazy people.
You really do.
Oh my God. That is so crazy. Well, the love triangle is great. And
Yep.
it all was so
I'm
funny.
gonna get some pink cowboy boots that go up to my knees.
It was like
We're gonna
she
go to
had all
brunch.
the bling. Like she had like not the real bling, just like
The fake
Yeah,
bling.
the
rhinestones.
Western bling. Like the
Wow.
yes,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
jangly things. And yeah, I was like, and Lars did not. Lars was like in a t-shirt, so it was
Yeah. It's a
Weird.
weird combo.
interesting.
Oh my
I
gosh.
didn't expect to turn around and see that in
Yeah.
front of
Oh
my
my
horse
God.
Trevor.
Yeah.
Amazing. Oh
Poor-
my gosh. Well,
poor
thank you
horse.
so much
Yeah.
for sharing that. And
Yes.
you do have a really fun social media page. So you do teaching, right? In some of
Little
your videos, I've
Yep.
seen like some informational
Cool.
and then humor stuff too. So it's
Yes.
at horse.collie, right? Your
Yep.
Instagram.
Horse dog
Okay.
collie.
And same
Yep.
on
No,
TikTok for people to follow you?
I am. Yeah, my TikTok is so
Okay.
behind. I always forget, and
Same,
then I
girl.
like upload like 5, but like
Yeah.
I can't. I don't like TikTok because it's as soon as I turn it on, it's like yelling at me in my face,
Yeah.
and I can't handle it. I feel like it's a loose cannon, and
Same.
so I just like kind of upload my reels on that. But everyone's like, "You have to do TikTok. We don't like Instagram." So I'm trying to like find an app that does like both, and I think I found one, but I don't know how to do it yet. I don't. All of my time that I dedicate to all of this is like from 10 to midnight at night
Right.
because
Yes.
once
Late
my
night.
kids go to bed, and then I'm like, instead of scrolling, I'm like asking ChatGPT how to do all this stuff, and
Yeah.
like film reels like super late after hours and everything. Like if I get Dr. Emma, like I will wait in the clinic and I'm like, "Are you back yet? Are you back yet? Are you back yet?" She's like, "I want to go home." Like I don't care. We're filming a reel. So
Yeah.
I
love
want to
it.
start doing more holidays, maybe like fall off of it for sure.
Yeah.
But I want to do more. I probably should do some more education, but sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to work. I just want to do something funny. So
Well, yeah. No, it's
yeah.
very fun though. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Well, we'll make sure to link your page on the
Thank
on the bio
you.
too, so people can find you and all of that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Thank
Well,
you for your time. Sorry we had you running around like
I
No,
know.
that's okay. I'm used to it. It's no problem. We're never where we plan to be. So I'm glad this barn got me on their Wi-Fi so we can do this. So yeah.
Thanks, Dr. Emma. So you can go do pasterns now.
Yes. Yeah. She texted me. She's like, "Volumes for what?" I'm like, "I got you." I'm like, "I'm coming." So yeah.
Like I will be there. I promise.
No,
Yes,
well, thank you
yes.
so much. It was
Usually
really
if I
fun.
just leave her alone, she figures it out. So
Yeah,
she's
that's
pretty.
true.
She's very steady Eddie. She's like, "I'll just do it." I'm like,
Good.
good.
Cool.
That's
So,
good. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
You too. Yeah.
All right. Have a good day. Thanks for listening, everybody. We would really love to have you as a guest on our podcast. So if you have any fun stories to share with us or would like to be a guest, we have a form on our website. So unhingedandOnCall.com. And you just click on the little link there and you can fill out a little bit about your story and yourself, and then we would get back to you. Or you can just email us to chat@unhingedandOnCall.com and just tell us a little bit about yourself. And we would love to have you as a guest.
We also are looking for ratings. So essentially on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, you can rate and review our show. And that would be super helpful in just getting kind of into the algorithm. And then additionally, we are on YouTube. So if you ever want to watch videos, we put more content, like visual content, so pictures, videos, things like that, into the episodes. So we'd love to have you follow or subscribe our channels on YouTube.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe and follow us for all the latest updates. Unhinged and On Call isn't just a podcast. It's a lifeline for every veterinary